Good evening, everybody. The Daily Crazyhouse arena is about to start, and I will be competing. Let's see if all the updates are coming through.
10, 9, 8,
Right.
7,
Not a lot of players
6, 5,
have
4,
joined
3,
thus far, but
2, 1,
we'll
0.
probably be seeing some more players when the tournament progresses. Sauce Boss, who managed to crush me yesterday with this bishop b7 line, as you may recall. At least I recall. Alright. Sacrificing the rook if he wants it. And I may play pawn at f7 first, and then take the rook back. But we'll see about that. Alright, he decides to play it like this, with the check, and then he probably takes on f3. And after knight at g2, I'll just run to d1. At least that's the plan. Just getting my setup right. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's play some Crazyhouse. Knight at b2 I can just run, I think. Or even knight at b2, king e2 back. And then I've made him use the knight. And I'll have threats of my own soon. Knight at h5 comes to mind, bishop at g5. Bishop at g5 and also knight at h5 are also covering, oh sorry about that, covering f4. So they're both multi-purposes moves. But he will try to deny me that possibility for sure. Bishop at g6 maybe. Right, let's cover up. Yeah, I'll have to respond to this. Threat on f3. But now try to get something going. Rook g1 was my idea. Try to arrest this pawn, maybe bishop at f5. If rook takes, then I'll repeat moves. And I have this threat. And also knight at f4 comes to mind at some moment. Right, he will allow me the rook. The problem for him is that he can't take with the knight now. And now I can take this pawn on h3, because if he takes back I'll have knight at g5. And I might have knight at g5 anyway, or just take this knight over here. And it's also nice that I'm ahead on the clock. Let's go knight at g5, covering f3, and also creating attacking chances. Let's take this one, because now I'll have the threat of knight at g6 at some moment. Yeah, there we go already. If he moves to e8 I'll checkmate even. And now I can just take the queen and take back on f3, and knight g5 is a threat that he can't escape from. And made in a few moves. Alright, that's the first game. Already some more players have joined. I hope everything is well with the viewers. And that you're enjoying the content. Hi Abos. This is actually pretty nice for me, since this bishop is on g7. I had this pawn at e7 move. And well, he walks into an easy checkmate. But even if he walked the other way, it would have been over soon. Alright, quick win there. Uh, 17 players have joined so far. So we should be able to get a next game going quickly. Yeah, there we go. Let's try to get a big score today. It seems like I'm one of the only 2400 players. So we'll try to berserk a lot of games. That's just a free pawn he gave me, which I can use on g4, for example. Bishop e2, pawn at g4, knight at h4 already looks very attractive. Gotta watch out for knight at f6. So when I trade a knight, I should have defended that. But alright, he's making holes in his position already, so I'm feeling quite comfortable. Bishop g5, knight bishop g4 for me, or bishop f5 even. Develop, and when we trade pawns, pawn at d2 or b2 seems interesting. Let's harass the knight away make him move it to g3, then bishop g6, and then castle long. This is a fine position for me to play positional, since he doesn't have that much pieces. And now already he's in a lot of trouble. Let's go pawn here. If he takes, I'll take back, and I have the threat of pawn at f2 and the pawn at d2. Both are mating threats, actually. Pawn at d7, just sidestep. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Yeah, b3 was too much. Give me bishop b4 for free. Pawn at c3. Now that he's played bishop b5, e5 is completely fine, since there are no sacrifices on f7 to worry about, or any theoretical lines in the e4, e5 structure, which I do know a couple, but not in great detail. So when I can avoid that, I usually do that. Let's try to attack here. And also there is this queen at h4 ID at some moment. Maybe now already. Since I do not lose the queen, because I can just trade queens. Let's see where he wants to go. Alright. Rook at g1 maybe is fine. Rook at h1 even better. Then he has to block or move, so I can take the queen. But now I threaten queen f1 mate. And rook at g1 also could have also been enough, but rook at h1 was just way better. Alright, 15 points, and the number 2 is on 2 points, or 3 points I should say. So off to a good and quick start. Baga 33 up next. And usually in these types of structures the bishop is on this diagonal. So play is a bit different. Just don't... I should try to keep this pawn on d5. Only if it favors me heavily, then I should trade on e4, for example. So like now I'll just choose to play e3, trade, and well, I'll let him play pawn at e4, that's okay. Just this pawn has to stay there. Alright, let's go knight g4. See if he wants to trade. Pawn g5 maybe next. He wants to go knight takes c2. Let's see if he wants to win a pawn here. Yeah, I guess he does. But now we get some attack going, or we get the queen. And now already he has to play something at g7, which he does. Can't play queen at takes d4 yet. Oh, let me close the window. It's raining hard in the Netherlands for a few minutes. I hope it doesn't bother you. But I can't do much more about the sound than closing the window. We have had a few nice days in the Netherlands, and well, the weather in the Netherlands can be sunny for 4 days in a row. We have to have rain. It's like a law of nature. And also that's nice, I think. It's refreshing. Now I have the threat of knight at h6 and queen at g8. The normal smothered mate threat, and he doesn't see it. Although there isn't a pawn on g7, my pawn is covering, so that's nice. Yeah, again, apologies for the sound. I hope it gets better soon. Or it's okay for you guys and I'm just bothered by it myself. That would be fine too. I forgot the berserk, I noticed. But okay, let's keep playing quickly. I'll need one more pawn to mate. Pawn at g7, knight at h6. So he has to do something about this mate threat now, and I'm also trying threatening to take the bishop and the other bishop. So yeah, that's the game. Yeah, it's funny to see. I've already played 6 games, and the most of the people just, well, Sal's boss has berserked, obviously, and has 3, but they're playing a lot slower than me. So I'm managing to get 20 points ahead in 20 minutes. And it was my goal to win some games fast, so that's going great. Coffee 1 up next. Let's see what he wants to do. E takes d5, e5 are both reasonable options. Bishop b5 is also nice. What do I want to do here? Let's go bishop b4. And then take a knight at e4 if he takes with the pawn. Or even anyway. And now he has this problem of the pawn on c3. And he probably has to use the pawn on b2. And then I can play castles, because there is no threat of pawn at h6 anymore. You could also try to sacrifice the pawn with knight e5, for example, or some other move, bishop at h4 maybe, some sort of intermezzo move. He decides to take on c6 first. But now I also have the option of bishop at h5. He might want to go knight at h5 himself, but then I guess rook g8 is fine. Okay, bishop at b4. Interesting way of covering. I think a5 is justified now. Make the bishop move or make him play pawn at e7. Well, that's just a free piece. Yeah, and now bishop at h5, totally consolidating my position. Knight at g5 next, covering the knight and also attacking the queen. Some trade here, maybe even knight c3. What do I want to do? Let's go here and alright, I thought he would have taken with the f-pawn, but okay, I guess this is fine too. If he takes, then I'll probably play bishop at f3 first, attacking the queen, and then I'll take on h3. Seems more forcing. Yeah, so he'll... And now after queen e2 or any queen move, we have the same position, but with my move. So that's just winning. And here's some nice little points. First pawn at h3, forcing the king back. g1 or h2, I'll take the queen. h1, I can just play bishop at g2, win the queen, and then mate. And that's just cleaner than taking the queen and allowing him maybe a defense. Probably also will be checkmate then soon, but when you have two moves and you see the one that wins cleaner, you'll always go for that one. And certainly in a tournament where there's it's not a knockout or something like that, it has a time ticking away. You'll want to win your games as quickly as possible. I might opt for knight takes d4 and knight takes e5 idea. And he counters that. Let's develop then. Bishop d7, bishop e7, castles f5 maybe. As long as we don't trade that many pawns, I should be fine. If he had a few pawns, I would be reluctant to castle, because pawn at h6 is a threat then. But now I'm the first to grab a pawn, and then I have pawn at f4, blocking out the bishop. and then play f6 or something like that. F takes g6 still covers the pawn on f4. He could opt to sacrifice now though, and then play pawn at d6 or play pawn at d6 anyway. But I can take here with check first, which is important. Because now maybe a pawn at a3 sometimes will be annoying for him. Let's take with the rook and then see what he wants to do. He has managed to break up my position, so we'll have to be careful. Just try to reinforce by putting pieces around my king. Let's sacrifice the queen, because now all his pieces have run out. He only has a knight and queen left, and I will be able, or at least I'm counting on that I will be able to play bishop at h6, knight f5, bishop at d5, moves like that, guarding my my king side. Knight g5 might come, yeah. Let's go. What do I want to do actually? Let's go pawn at f5 in response. Yeah, I missed knight h7. That's too bad. I had to respond in a different way to queen f1. Maybe bishop at h6. Alright, so now bishop at h6 is possible. Takes here. And I would really like to trade this piece. Bishop at e3 or pawn at e3 is also a threat now. So I'm creating some threats of my own. Knight at g4 comes to mind, pawn at g3 and pawn at h2, and then knight at g4 is also an option. And it's important that my knight is on d5. If this knight was removed, he would have a checkmate with knight at e7, king h8, and queen at g8, rook takes, knight f7. So when this knight is still in g5, my knight has to cover this square. Or another piece for that matter, but anyway, I have to keep an eye on that. But it seems there's no easy move for white here, because he's thinking a lot. Can he do that? Or can I just take? Yeah, I guess I can just take. Since f5 has enough coverage by these three pieces, and also knight at g5 or any business like that is covered. He might want to take here and then put something on the e7. Alright. But I don't think that's enough for him. And also I have this bishop takes f2 move first. Yeah, that's alright. Now we take back. If e6, bishop takes e6, and I'm covered. Knight at e5, and then I can just run back. And his pieces are running out, and I have threats of my own. Knight at g3, rook at h2, knight at g4 is a threat that he has to deal with. And while he does that, I can clean up. For example, bishop takes d4, or just queen at e7 to be completely safe. And also my berserking disadvantage is almost gone away, since he almost used this time. Threatening knight at g5 now. which I should respond to. Let's respond with a threat of my own. Now knight at g3 is checkmate, and I'm also covering this square. e6 still takes with the bishop. Knight g5, just run. Knight e7, run some more. Alright, knight at g3. Alright, 34 points. I managed to beat the number 2 player, so I guess I'm in the clear for a while. But then it's the challenge to try to keep playing good Crazyhouse and keep winning games. Not allowing anyone to get closer. And of course entertaining you guys. That's also part of the show. Alright. Kafune. We've played a few games already. Right, he opts for d6, which allows me to play knight c3 and e4, gaining a tempo on the bishop. And like in chess, winning tempos is, or tempi maybe I should say, is of course very nice. Knight at h4, expecting. Okay. I was going to discover, but then I noticed bishop at b5, checking and also winning the knight. Bishop c1, if I had a bishop in hand, would have been also fine. But winning a piece is clearly better, of course. Let's take once and then go bishop b5 back. Let's see if he wants to use the pawn. Yes, he does. Now I can safely put the bishop here because he doesn't have a pawn left to put on e4. That's castle. Go bishop h4 at some stage. Cover c3. But now I want to go bishop at h4 and try to harass this knight. Okay. He goes queen c7, so I'll have bishop e5, even better. Because it allows this knight at c7 move, winning the queen or the rook. Pawn at h6, try to get in. Yeah, just take. He'll take back, I'll take the knight. If he takes with the knight, then knight at h5 is checkmate in 3 moves. And if he takes with the pawn like he does, then queen at h5. g5 I mean. He blocks, pawn at h6, pawn at g7, knight at e7. Depending on which way he goes. If king h8, even queen takes f6 was also fine. Alright. Well, that was not all due to the loss of tempo, also because he blundered the knight on c4. But I had a very comfortable opening after knight c3, e4. Let's go b3. Mix it up a bit. Main also because I knew he would play this b6, b7 system, and then this Dayak is nice to use. I think it's okay for me to trade queens here. Yeah, he doesn't want to. But now I'll have some c3 move, maybe. Trying to force him to trade queens. If takes, then pawn at d7 is my plan. Trades, and then now I'm blocking the queen from d3. And now I'm threatening to take on d5, but also on e2. So it probably has to take on e4, and then I have to contemplate if I want to take the pawn or the knight. And I think I'll go with the knight, because he can't take my knight afterwards, because the pin is happening. And he can play pawn at d5. That's of course fine. But then I think I'll play rook d1. I may play rook d1 anyway, or pawn at d5. Built in a little trick. If he takes, knight at f6 wins the queen, and if he moves his knight to e7, knight at f6 is checkmate. So he had to make another move, or move the knight to a5, and then I was planning c4 and opening this diagonal. But this was a nice helpmate, so to say. And I'm back over 2500, which is usually good for me. Probably good for anybody, but I'm usually around 2400. Alright. It does give him extra safety, but it also made him waste a pawn. So I'm fine with that. At queen e2, I think I will trade on f3, make him take with the pawn. I can of course trade queens first, and then go knight at f4. He doesn't have any good checks. Queen at b5. I just block. And let's see. Yeah, I think I can go pawn at g2. Takes f4, takes h1. And then I have another queen to work with. And while still being safe here. Now, for example, I'm already threatening rook at d1 and then take the bishop on f1. And then a quick checkmate. If block, queen at e2, king c1 and mates. If king d2, queen at e1 would have been checkmate. And there we go. Still on a perfect score. Let's see if already 50 players have joined, and a lot of them have withdrew already. But it seems not many of the top like the really top guys, top 10 guys, are playing this Daily Crazyhouse arena. Maybe they don't like the 5+0 tempo. Chocolate money. Thanks for following Electric Masada. I seem to recall that King F8 is the correct move here. Since then, knight takes e5 doesn't come with check. Okay. Ah, that's queen takes d4 is a blunder by me. That's bad. All right. Let's see. Can we salvage this? Ah, Barry Boswick. Good to see you. Let's just develop. And now I'm even allowing bishop knight takes c5. Well, alright. Bad move, queen d4. I thought it was a nice trick, but it wasn't, clearly. Yeah, thank you. Started to stream this weekend, last weekend, and indeed happy with my performance in the candidates. Well, okay, although I'm down in material a lot, there maybe is hope for me. Maybe rook g8 next. Try to create something. Guess I'll have to let him take on g6 or e6. And try to get my own attack going. Queen at f7, I have to deal with that. Yeah, rook e6 back. Or rook e7 back, I mean. Expecting bishop at h4 maybe to attack this one. Hi Ben. Bishop h4 even. Can you do that? Can't I just take this? Don't see why not, actually. Let's block. Knight that takes f5 and bishop h4 is now a threat maybe. Hello, my sick duck. You're new to chess. Alright, then maybe this looks a bit strange. Because all kinds of pieces are appearing at the board. And that's because I'm playing a variant of chess, which is called Crazyhouse. But, well, the pieces do move the same as in normal chess. Alright, I've managed to win the queen back. Probably pawn at g5 will come. I think I'll have bishop takes e3. Ah, that's nice. That's a strong move. f6 probably. I missed knight at g4. And now he's just beating me. $2,400 in Crazyhouse or $2,400 in normal chess? If you're 2,400 in Crazyhouse, well, maybe I could still teach you something. Yeah, this will probably be my first loss in this tournament. Chuck is playing this very well. Rook at d7, king d8, rook takes e7, f7. He's going fancy. And you should always watch out going fancy, because you might end up losing. Oh, that's, although it will probably not happen, of course, now. Let's see if he sees bishop at a6. Or bishop at c8 even. Yep, there we go. I learned about the term adopting. I think it's 10 wins in a row, right? Against somebody. Don't know. It's been that way since I've played the game. Okay, 49 in half of the tournaments. Let's set a goal at 100 points. Bit ambitious maybe, but we can try. Ronaldo. Yeah, I'm crushing the tournament. But, well, we have to keep challenging ourselves. So, if I get 100 points, I will be very pleased, and 90 points is also fine, I guess. Because most likely I will win the tournament, even if I quit now. Because don't seem like any of the other guys is managing to get a streak going. Don't think he can take. He tries anyway. Bishop at d4. Make him use another piece to block if he wants to. And otherwise come in with the queen. Covering f7. Let's take the knights. Knight at e3, e3 is the mating threat with queen takes c2, and also queen e1, queen d2 is a threat. Let's ignore this bishop. I have covered e7, so I should be fine. if I want to make my goal of 90, he should resign. Alright, or just make a move. There we go. Ishak 37 probably up next. I see his name in the chat. Maybe Chuck again. Don't know. Yeah, Ishak it is. Right, c5 expecting, and oh, that's actually nice to know. I didn't know that. Crazyhouse fan. Maybe I should allow you to post links. I had this Nightbot option and I clicked it. Sorry about that, Crazyhouse fan. I'll try to change it. And then I'll manage it myself if spam is coming up. Try to multitask while playing Isak. Yeah, I think it's just it should be the click of a box or something like that. It shouldn't be too hard. Let me find it. Alright, Crazyhouse fan, it should be disabled now. So I guess you can share the link. And then I maybe should configure those settings again later. But okay, let's focus on the game. Queen d5 is a threat. Knight takes g7. He has a lot to worry about. I think pawn at f7 is nice now. And setting up some sort of double check. And he can't escape it really, because king e8, knight takes g7, bishop takes g7, pawn at f7 mate, and king g8, knight g5, denying him the square h7 and also checking. Oh, sorry about that. And if he doesn't move his if he doesn't attack my queen, knight f4 is probably the best move. Alright, he wants to go king e8. If I go knight f4, knight d7 maybe, d8 I mean, maybe pawn at g5. Yeah, that seems nice. But it, yeah. Yeah, let's go pawn at d5. g5. Let's see what he wants to do. He might want to take my bishop on d6. That was something, well, I was not worried about, but it might save him. Gotta move fast. Let's just stop trying to find a fancy mate and move quickly. Because surely I must be better here. Bishop at e6, queen there, takes, bishop at f7, move back and mate. Alright, nice. 55 and back on streak. It's going a bit slower than I expected. I expected maybe some more quick games. But alright, let's try to maintain the streak and see where we end. Probably setting the goal at 90 or 100 points was a bit too ambitious. But then again, if I had lost that game, I would have been at 70 already. Or 65. Pawn at b4, threatening e4. He does, however, have queen d4 then, so first bishop c5. If he takes on f6, I'm completely fine. But I missed this simple fork. That's sad. Alright, let's try to correct that mistake. Okay, let's not allow him any tricks. Yeah, I messed up this opening. Alright, now it's time to counterplay. Try to get some kind of attack going. force him to play rook g1, so he can't castle anymore. Pawn at d3, blocking off the defense of knight d4. If takes, then just takes back. Pawn at d7, maybe. No, I guess I have to go here. Try to stay aggressive. Maybe f5 even. At some point. F6. Yeah, he wants to go pawn at e7, and that's rather annoying. But I don't see anything that I can do about it. So I'll try to stir up some complications. And again, I'm talking about this well, that many points, I'm gonna take it. But then I'm just losing games again. So let's just try to focus on the game and not dream about that many points. Alright, that's threatening my knight. Let's cover. Hey Jamarlo, welcome. Because there I could have covered with pawn at g5, but then he might have taken and then play knight at g6, which was very annoying. His clock is gonna be a factor, and although I'm still a lot worse, so might have some chances to press him. Alright, a queen sacrifice, that's unexpected. e5 I can just take. And if now e5, I'll have f5, and he doesn't have that many die-X left to mate me. Let's see what I want to run to. h7. And the problem is that knight at g4 is also a threat now. And I have two queens, so that should be made somewhere. If he runs up, queen at f2 and queen at h4. That's too bad for him. He had a winning position there, but he didn't manage to break through. This is best bullet player has joined but already quit again. Seems like a new strong player in the mix, which is always nice to see. Could also be an alternative account for one of the players who wants to stay anonymous. But if the first thing is the case, I'm always happy to see more players start Crazyhouse. Also, if they aren't top level, of course. It's good to see that variant is getting popular, or at least growing. Wouldn't say popular yet, maybe, but it's probably on League Chess one of the most played variants after normal chess, and that's also seen by the Elite Crazyhouse Arena, which is a weekly tournament. These daily tournaments get quite a turnout. At 97 probably, then h3 maybe, or knight e5 first, this 94 expecting, take. If he takes back with the queen, then bishop at e5 was completely fine. If bishop at h3, knight g5 probably. Alright, also fine. Maybe I can take now. If he takes back, knight e5, pawn at f3. Forking the bishops. There may even be bishop at e4. But let's go pawn at f3. Let's see if he retreats. Alright, he doesn't. Then just take. This is winning material. And maybe I'll even poke first with bishop at g6, since he only has a knight as a blocker. Right now he's got a pawn. Let him use the pawn. Yeah. Resigns. His queen was also hanging. But first I wanted him to use the pawn, and then take the queen with several mating threats. Alright, 20 more minutes to go, and well, probably 4 or 5 more games for me. So let's see, maybe we can continue the streak. Leeches has this sort of algorithm, I think, that he searches for the highest available opponents. So if you're at the top of the table, it sometimes may take a while to get an opponent, since the guys in the top 10 are already playing or have withdrawn. The thing with the bishop on c4 in the e6 system is that it takes a tempo, and now basically I'm playing with white. Normally he would have a knight on f3 and I would have it on g8. He could try some pawn at a6 maybe. Rook e1 comes to mind. I think I'll need to castle. Knight at h3. If he takes, knight at f3 wins the queen. And if he doesn't take, bishop f3 seems fine. Just go full attack. Takes. If not, I'll take and play pawn at f3. Make him move his king forward. Sacrificing material, but I'm counting on the fact that it will be hard for him to find a defensive move here. And I'll always have queen e6 and blocker pawn f5, and then I can take the blocker. And that will give me another piece in hand. Bishop at g2 is a threat, maybe. He could try bishop h5. Yeah, he does. Alright, maybe knight at g2. Threatening the queen. And also taking these squares away from the king. And now I only need a few more pawns to mate. I'll still have to be careful for his counter-attack, of course. Let's take. Pawn g4 is now a huge threat. Followed by queen f6, for example. Or queen d6 even. Queen h4. And this probably wasn't correct, but I figured let's try to pressure this opponent fast. And he's consuming a lot of time, and also he walked into this mating net. There we go. Alright, we're at 70 points. And this was kind of an unconventional mating pattern with the knight at g2. But if you're low on material, it's a good advice to not try to keep checking if it doesn't lead to mate, because then the king can escape, but try to take the escape squares away, and then you probably need like one last piece, and then your opponent has to focus on defending that piece instead of running his king to safety. And especially in the time trouble situations, it will be something that your opponent can forget easily. What to do here? Let's go king h1. Let's see what he wants to do. I kind of want him to take c2, get the bishop away from the action, but he probably won't do that. Yeah, there we go. Now let's get him to g6. So pawn at f3 doesn't have a big effect. Now let's go to trade some pieces, 95. Yeah, alright. Knight at f3 is possible, I guess. And not queen at h3 was a sort of a threat with pawn at g2, knight at h4. And now the knight and 3 points are both covered by my pieces. Alright, he decides to give up the queen. Don't know if it was necessary. Let's let him take on g3, give my king a bit more safety, and also pawn at f6 or h6 is annoying. Getting in on this diagonal. Ah, that's nice to notice. I'm just clicking all the arrows away separately, but you can just left click. Good to know. And now, for example, I only need another rook or knight to mate, to force mate. Rook at h8 takes g7 and then mate. And knight at d7, pawn takes, bishop at f6 is also checkmate. So he probably played knight at d2 or at h5, yeah. Now he has to take with the knight. Otherwise it will be checkmate. Let's spin the knight and then play pawn at h6. Make him burn all his defensive pieces. Now I have to take the knight first, otherwise he took my queen. Bishop at f6 should be a nice checkmating sequence. My plan is to take on g6. Yeah, he allows it. There wasn't anything he can do about it. King h7, knight at e7, king g8, I mean, knight at e7 and knight g5. That's a nice find, if I say so myself. And it was also forcing the other way around. If he took with the f-pawn, the bishop on c4 came free to cover the squares on f7 and g8, so bishop at g7 would have been checkmate instantly. Right, 12 more minutes to go. The Grandmaster is how the Germans would say it, I guess. Don't know if he's from Germany. It doesn't say so. Well, at least he's moving quickly. Let's try to get something going via the dark squares. If he moves his knight, bishop at takes d7 or e7 and bishop at d6 is already very strong. Let's see. Yeah, let's just take knight at c4. He can't take because of the pin. Getting a pawn to use on c7 later on. And checkmate is coming. Promote and knight c7. Alright, quick win. Well, the challenge might be still possible to get to 100 points. Will be difficult, but 90 will mean 2 more wins. Maybe it's possible. If my opponents play as fast as the Grandmaster, then it certainly will be. And maybe we'll get another last minute finish like yesterday, where I had the tournament clock was had 1 second remaining and I played checkmate, and that win gave me 3rd place instead of 4th, which was very nice, of course. Bishop at g4, pawn at e4. This is just a nice system to get quick moves out. Bishop e2, I just take. Right, he goes this way. Now bishop f5, I guess. If I get a pawn in the future, pawn at g2 is strong. Knight at b4 is an option. Let's take once and then e6. If pawn at f5, I can take, and knight at g2 disturbs his king. Knight at h4 is also an idea. Knight at h4, and then I have my eye on f3. Alright, he wants to go pawn at a6 maybe. Maybe I shouldn't allow it, but okay. If pawn at a6, bishop at d7. I guess. Or knight at g2 first. Knight at g2, maybe you go king of f1 and then I have bishop at c4. Regaining the pawn. Alright, he decides to use his pawn there. He maybe has knight at g7 planned. Where do I run? King d7? Yeah, that seems fine. Knight at g7, king e7. And he doesn't have any pieces left. He can take this one and then go knight at f5, but I'll just take and then king d7. If king d7 now, knight at c5 might have been annoying. And now I'll try to clean up with rook g6, threatening the bishop, but also opening knight at g2. Bishop at d6 seems like a good defensive move. He decides to sacrifice even more material. Pawn at d7, just queen e8. Maybe queen e8 anyway. And then we'll see what happens. Alright, let's not allow the queen trade and any other funny business. If he uses the pawn, pawn at bishop at c4 seems interesting. Let's just cover, because pawn at f5 was a threat for him, and take. And as long as I don't give him a knight on c5, I should be fine. Threatening the knight, and then pawn at b2. Sorry, is a strong threat. Knight at c4 becomes a possibility, because a knight at c5 is dangerous. But if you sacrifice the queen for it, then I'm okay with it, of course. The problem is that he doesn't have any blockers, so he probably will try to trade a piece and put a bishop on b3. Right, he decides to go this way. Let's get safe first before we attack. What does he threat with this? Knight f4 maybe. Alright. Let's ignore that. Attack this pawn. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Try to get in on b2. If knight f4, I'll probably take on e3. And then he can't take with the f pawn, and d2 will become a problem. And I don't mind losing this rook, since the rook doesn't do anything good for him. And actually I only need a knight to mate. Knight a3 comes to mind, then knight c2. Let's just go that way. Because of the pin he can't take. Try to get a rook maybe. Knight at c5 isn't a problem for me, king e7 is fine. Or just trade first and then king e7 is also fine. Maybe one more game after this one. Well, at least we'll start one more game, but maybe I'll win and get 90 points. This way. He has to take with the queen, otherwise I will get mate. At least I thought. Yeah, this is mate in a few moves. Queen at c3 is faster even. Alright, checkmate. One more for 90 and 2.5 minutes to go in the tournament. So if my opponent doesn't play fast, I won't be able to get it. But we'll see. Well, it's taking quite a while. To get pairing, and thus my chances of getting to 90 vanish. But okay, that will give me the chance to give you some information about coming streams. As you can see, the pairings are now closed, so the tournament is over. Well, maybe I'll stream tomorrow some games, but I'm not sure yet. But at least I will be streaming this Saturday, and at 17:00 European time there is this, let me show you, this 3-check championship, which I'll try to play to get some other variant in the mix. And at 2100, the 24th Elite Crazyhouse Arena is going to be played, and I will also join that, and I'll see that Jan Lee is also covering it, so you'll get multiple perspectives on that tournament. And let me just join the 3-check arena also, and we'll see how we do at the 3-check. I have played it for, as you can see, I have a rating in it, but well, it's been a while. We'll see. For now, I thank you for watching. Let me get the standings up for the Daily Crazyhouse. There we go. And thanks for playing if you played me, and